Good evening, everyone. I hope I am audible. Please confirm on the chat if I am audible. Okay, yeah, thank you. So, my name is Umang Kejriwal, and I welcome you all to this 2 weeks training on machine learning using Python. So, in this coming 2 weeks, we will be learning about the machine learning. What is machine learning? What are the types of machine learning? So we will be doing some practicals also. It will be totally practical based. So we'll be working with some algorithms. We will be working with how to evaluate the model, and all these things we'll be doing related to the machine learning. So before I start this session, I'll just give you a short overview of this complete training, that what are the things that we are going to discuss in this training. Okay. So before I start, this training requires the Python, basic knowledge of Python. So I hope you all are having the basic knowledge of Python. Today I will be covering some basics of Python which is required for machine learning, but I hope you have some knowledge. And already I have shared one playlist related to Python. I hope you have gone through. If not gone through the playlist of Python, please go through that. That will be more helpful for making you this training understandable. Okay, so you can go to my channel, and in my channel, if you go to the playlist, you will get one Python programming for beginners 0 to hero. So you'll get total 8 to 10 videos. Just go through the videos, you'll get the complete knowledge of Python. Okay. Secondly, this session will be available on my channel every day, so you don't have to worry in case if you have some network problem or you miss something. You can attend the session. You can see the recorded session. It will be available on my channel when I end this session every day. So after around 10 o'clock or 9:30, you will get back this video, and you can just go through the video again. Because I what I will suggest you, whatever practical I will be discussing in this training, if you can do side by side, that is fine. But I will suggest that you understand the concept first, and when the training completes, whenever you get time after the training, maybe tomorrow in the day, night, or maybe in the night, you just practice all the practicals. So that will be more helpful in your learning. So because I feel during the live session, it may be a little bit difficult to do the practical side by side. Okay, so that will be better that you understand the things in the session, and after the session, you can perform the practical. But you can, if you can manage side by side, that's your call. You can do it. Okay. And I will be responding to all your queries on the chat, whatever queries you will be having. But I will request everyone to ask all your bigger queries at the last of the session. So in the last, I will discuss all the queries. Okay. So that's all for this now. So I hope now you all are ready. So we should start. And one more thing regarding the attendance. Like as you all know that you will be getting the certificates of this. So for the certificate, at least 70% of the attendance is mandatory. I will be sharing one attendance form every day, which you have to fill every day, and make sure that you fill the correct email ID and the same email ID every day. Don't use multiple email ID. It may give problem. It may have some problem to collect the days, number of days, to count the number of days. So please correct the give the correct email ID, because through the email only we will count the attendance. Okay, so please give your correct and same email ID every day. Okay, so now we'll start. So as I told you, first of all, I'll give you a basic overview of the topics that I'm going to discuss in this coming days. Okay, so let me open my Word. Yeah, good evening everyone, good evening. Okay, no problem. If you are late, you can just go back to the video and you can see that again. You can scroll back to the scroll back. Okay, so what's the overview? Let's say I'll give you the schedule for our training. Okay. See, today I will be discussing about the Python basics. Okay. Python for machine learning. So we'll discuss about what are the things that we can do in Python related to machine learning. What are the things, whatever things that is required for machine learning, that are all things we are going to discuss today. Okay. Then after that, we'll discuss about the NumPy in the next session. Before NumPy, we'll discuss about the introduction. Intro to ML, data science, ML and data science. Now, have you heard about NumPy library? Have you all heard about NumPy library? The font size has reduced. Here we'll discuss further. Okay, fine, great. So we'll discuss the NumPy. This is a very useful library in machine learning, because here we learn how to deal with the array data, and we take sometimes array data in, most of the times we take array data in the case of NumPy. Okay, in the case of machine learning. Okay, then we'll understand the concept of pandas. Now this library will be used for the data analysis. You can say EDA, exploratory data analysis, or you can say the manipulation in the data. Whatever change you want to do in the data, whether you want to import, export, sort, filter, add or delete columns, all these things can be done using the pandas. So again, this is also a very useful library in the case of machine learning. And one thing I would like to tell you all, those who cannot see the screen visible like properly or clear, just go to the settings of the video and change the video quality to 480p or 720p. Okay, so that now the video will be clear. Okay, yeah, yesterday there was a birthday of Python. Yes, yesterday it was a Python birthday, correct. So after this pandas, on day 4 we'll discuss about the matplotlib and seaborn. Now, can anybody tell me in the chat what is the need, what is the use of these two libraries, matplotlib and seaborn? Why do we use these two libraries, matplotlib and seaborn? What's the use of this? Let me see how many of you know this. Yes, correct. It is used for the data visualization. That's correct. It's good to know that you all know. Yes, for the graph, for plotting different types of graph. So in this coming 4 days, we will be doing all these things. First of all, today we'll discuss about the Python basics, then introduction to ML data science, NumPy, pandas, matplotlib and seaborn. And after, on the day 5th, now here we will understand the first algorithm of machine learning, which is your linear regression. Or first of all, we'll do KNN. Okay. So it is the algorithm in machine learning, which is the simplest algorithm in machine learning. Okay, that we are going to discuss. So first of all, I'll explain the concept of CNN, how this KNN work and all these things. And then we will do one project also with project also. Okay. With the practical implementation, with the project, we are going to perform this KNN. Then after KNN, on the next day, we'll discuss about the linear regression, again with one project. Okay. Then we'll discuss about the logistic regression. Okay. Logistic regression. So these are the 3 algorithms, the basic algorithms that we are going to cover in this training. Okay. Then after this, when we use any algorithm, we may get a less accuracy, we may get good accuracy also. So we have to, sometimes we have to increase the accuracy or do some techniques. So we will understand the technique, feature engineering and model performance. How can you improve the performance of your model? What is feature engineering? All these things we are going to discuss in the in this session, feature engineering and model performance. And then we will learn how to create web application for your project. Whatever project we will be making related to machine learning, we'll discuss how can we make the web application for that particular project. That thing we will be discussing. So web application can be made through different ways, but I will be taking the simplest way to make a web application. Okay, and then at the end we'll learn about the deployment. How can you deploy your project on the server? How can you make it live so that anyone can use it? So these are the things that I will be discussing. If I will get some more time, I'll discuss some more things in this. Okay, I'll discuss some more things. So basically these are the things that we are going to discuss. Okay, fine. So now let's start. So first of all, we'll understand the Python part. We'll understand a very simple thing about Python, which we can use in the machine learning. Okay, so now for the practical, we will be using the Google Collab. Okay, we'll be using the Google Collab, which is an online IDE provided by Google free of cost. You don't have to install anything there. Everything is pre-installed there. Okay, you don't have to do anything. Okay, so we'll be using Google Collab for that. And in case if you want to install it in your local system and then do the practical, then what you can do is you can follow my Python videos, Python playlist video, and you can follow the installation from there. Okay, so in case if you want to do it in the local system offline, you can do that way also. But Google Collab is an online ID. It's an online thing. Okay, so to work on Google Collab, we need a Google account, and I hope you all are having the Google account because it's very common. So you have to just log in with your Google account. Okay, so you have to just simply search on Google Google Collab. Now it stands for collaboratory, Google Collaboratory. Okay, so this is the website of Google Collab where you have to go. So simply you have to go to this website. Okay, and if your system is already logged in to your Google account, then you will get one pop-up window like this. Like this you are going to get here. Okay, so like this you will be getting a pop-up window if your system is already logged in. Okay, but if it is not logged in, then on the right hand side, on the top right, you will get a login button. So with the help of that login button, you can log in and you can get this page. Now, these are the projects and the codes which I have already created before. You may not get these lists if you're opening it for the first time. You will only get one file that will be welcome to collaboratory, some kind of file you will be getting if you are opening it for the first time. Okay, so this is the pop-up window that we'll be getting. So what you can do is you can simply cancel this. Okay, or you can take the new file from here also, but you can cancel this also. Okay, now when you cancel this, this is the home page of this Google Collab. Now you can see here my account, Gmail account is already logged in here, and this is just a small documentation related to your Google Collab, how to work on Google Collab. So this is a small documentation. So if you want, you can go through all this documentation. Okay, Vibhuti, if you are getting blur, just go to the YouTube, that video settings, click on the settings button and change the video quality to 720p or 480p. You will get a better visualization. Okay, just change your video quality. Okay, so now here you have to go to the file menu and you have to click on new notebook. Now see, whatever file you will be creating in this Google Collab, all these files are going to be stored automatically in your Google Drive. So you don't have to worry about saving the file also. It is automatically, it will be saving in your Google Drive. Okay, and I'll show you the path after some time where your file is going to be saved. I'll show you that path also after some time. Okay, so I'll simply click on file, I'll click on new notebook, and it will create a new notebook file where we can write the Python code. So it will take some time, hardly 10 to 15 seconds. And all of you watching this session, please click on the like button make it 300, 400 likes right now. And those who have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you can get the notification every day. Please do it. That's only the support that I want from your side. So it motivates me to create more, bring more free sessions for you. So please do that thing. Okay, fine. So this is a new Python notebook file that we got here. Okay. Now, let me give you a small overview about this one. Now, first of all, I would like to ask you, how many of you have used Google Collab before? How many of you have used this? Let me see how many of you have already familiar with this. No, okay, many one. Okay, Amar, you have not used. Okay, no problem. If you have used, that's also fine. If you haven't used, that's also fine. Okay, no problem. And one more thing, like many of you are saying that you haven't registered for this training. So you don't have to worry if you haven't registered. Just fill the attendance form every day. You will be qualified for a certificate. Okay, so don't worry if you haven't registered. Okay. Yeah, okay, how to log in? I'll show it again. Let me open the private window. So if you simply go to Google and if I search for Google Collab, okay, you'll get this link of the Google Collab, the first link that you will be getting. So you have to just go to this link. And see, right now my system is not logged in because I have opened the incognito window. Okay, so on the right hand side, you will get a login button. Just wait. It's opening. Okay, you can see here on the top right, I am getting a sign in button. So you have to simply sign in from this button. And after sign in, you have to go to the file menu and you have to click on new notebook. That is how we log in here. Okay. Okay, fine. So now I'll come back here. Okay. So now this is the file name that you are going to create. So if you see the extension of the file name, it is IPYNB, which stands for Interactive Python Notebook. Okay, so this is a notebook extension. You don't have to change this extension, leave as it is. Okay, but you can change this file name. You can change this file name. So let me give the file name as let's say day 1 Python for machine learning. Python for machine learning. So that is how we can change the file name. I'll zoom this little bit so that you can see that properly. Okay, so here we got the file name. Now these are some basic menus here. You can explore all these menus later on. Right now we don't have to use this, so that they are not very much important as of now. Later on in future, if we require, we can use this. Okay, so right now it is not required, so simple, you can skip this part right now. Now here if you see there are two buttons, plus code and plus text. Now whenever you work in a notebook IDE, whether it is Jupyter Notebook, whether it is whether it is Kaggle Notebook, whether it is Google Collab Notebook, what is the purpose of using notebook? The purpose is that you can write your notes also. You can make that notes also with the code. That's the purpose of using notebook. So if you want to make any notes here, you can simply click on plus text. And if you want to write any code, you can click here on plus code. So this is the coding section right now. If you click on plus text, now you can see here it is the text section. So you can write any text here. You can make it bold, italic, or whatever you want. You can insert an image. You can use bullets and numbering. Whatever you want to use, you can use it here. That's simply used to make a notes. Okay. So I'll right click and delete this. I don't require right now. Okay. So this is the code. This is the cell where you will be writing the code. So let me write a very basic code of Python. Let me print a simple statement. So to print a simple statement in Python, you have to use a print statement, print, and here you will write in double quotes if you are printing a string. So in double quotes and single quotes, anything can be used. Okay. So let's say we will write here, we are learning Python for machine learning. Now here I have written the code. Now I want to execute this. Now to run this code, there is a shortcut which you can use, and the shortcut is, I'll write in the comment here. How do you write comment in Python? By using a hash keyword. So you can write here shift plus enter. If you press shift plus enter, it will start running your code. So first time it will take some time because it will make a server, it will start the kernel, and it will take some 10 seconds of time. If I run this now, if you see it is moving right now here, that means it is running the code. Okay, and when you do shift plus enter, it will automatically take a new cell also. So you don't have to click on the plus code manually. Automatically it will take a new cell for you. Okay, so it will take some time. I think now, okay, so here you can see we got the output. So this is the code that we have written, and this is the output that we got. Okay, so that's how we run any code in Google Colab. So I hope you understood, everyone. Now let's discuss about this Python. Now, as I told you, Python, I'm not going to cover complete Python. I'm just going to cover the basic things that is required for the machine learning. Okay, so the first of all, how do you define a variable in Python? How do you define a variable in Python? Now this Python is a very simple programming language, okay, as compared to other like C++ or Java. So in other programming language, if I have to define the variable, I have to define the data type also. That what is the data type of that variable. Now this Python is very smart. Here you don't have to define this. It will automatically understand that thing by the data. So if I write here, simply we have to write the variable name. So let's say I'll give the variable name as var1. You can give any name, but make sure that it starts with an alphabet, don't start with a numeric value, and there should not be any space in the variable. Otherwise you will get error. Okay, so you have to use underscore, okay, for giving any space. Okay, and how, if I want to perform, let's say, mathematical operation, so I also there is no need to define that variable in that number in a variable and then do the mathematical operation. I can do like that also. I can write 30 plus, let's say, 20. If I run this now, I'll get a 50. So it's very simple here to perform any calculation as if we do in a simple calculator. In the same way, we can do it here also. So it's very simple. Okay, so now let's understand how to define a variable. So let's say var1 is equal to 30, var2 is equal to, let's say, 40.5, var3 is equal to, let's say, I'll define here Python, var4 is equal to, let's say, I'll define here Umang. Okay, and var5 I'll define here, let's say, true, var6. Now I've defined here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 variables. 6 variables I've defined here. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is the data type of the first one? We haven't defined the data type, but what Python is going to understand for the first one? Yeah, correct. Integer. So automatically it will take this as integer. Okay. Now second one, what is the second data type? It's a float, correct. It's a float. We don't have decimal data type in Python, so we have float. Okay. Now the third one, inside double quotes, this will be string. Okay. Yeah, I am getting the answers. Very good, very good. Okay, what the fourth one? Character. Okay, no, here we don't have character. This is also string. So single quotes and double quotes do not have any difference in Python. It will define as a string only. Okay. Then the next one is your Boolean. And the last one is, what is the last one? Yeah, I'm getting the answers. Very good. Complex. So these are the different types of primitive data type in Python. Primitive means which can store a single value. That's the meaning of primitive. Okay. So these are the different types of primitive data type in Python that we have. Okay. Now, if I run this now all these variables are defined. It's defined now. Now, if you want to print anyone, you can print like this, print var1 or var2, whatever you want to print, you can print like this. See, we got 30 here. Okay. Now, one thing you have to be careful while writing the code. Let's say I want to print all. So sometimes when we do like this var1, I will get the output like this also. Without using print statement, I am also getting the output. If I'm writing here var2, I am also getting the output. See here 40.5. But if you are going for the multiple one, let's say like this, in a single cell, I'm talking about single cell, okay? Like this. So if I run this now, you will get the output for var6 only. You will not get the output for the previous one. So when you are executing multiple print in a single cell, then you have to use this print statement. It will be compulsory. Without that, you cannot get for all. Okay. Now if I do here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can see we got the output for all the variables. So please be careful about this thing. Okay. So if you are writing multiple codes in a cell, use print statement. Okay. And one more thing, if I'm writing a different line, I am getting the output. But let's say if I write like this, and if I run this, I'm getting the error invalid syntax. So when you are writing multiple code in a single line, use semicolon. Use semicolon. Now if I run this, see I got the output. Now here we don't have to pass semicolon because we don't have any next code after this. Okay. If we have some other code after this, then again we have to give semicolon here also. So if you're writing multiple codes in a single cell, use semicolon. Okay. In a single line, for a single line. Okay. So these are simple things related to the running of the code. So that's how we define a variable in Python. If you want to know the type of the variable, that we know that it is integer, but let's say you don't know that and you want to ask Python that tell me what is the variable data type of this variable. So you can use a function which is a type function. Yes, good. Print type of var1. So if you do this, you'll get the type of this. See, we are getting here integer. It's a class actually. So if you have a knowledge of object-oriented programming, you must be knowing about class. If you don't have, just go to the Python videos. I have covered this thing also there. Okay. Okay. So if I want to check for all, Hasina, I think you have to check in your side because my screen is already zoomed so much. I hope everyone can see my screen properly. Please confirm this. I've already zoomed my screen here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So if you see here, if I'm checking the type of all these variables, I'm getting here integer, float, string, boolean, complex. We can know the type easily. Okay. Yeah. If it is not visible, please change the quality of the video. Make it 480p or 720p. Okay. Okay, fine. So that's how we do this. And one more thing, let me do one thing. Let me share this link on the chat. You can open this link and reload whenever I make some change. So you will get the output in your screen also. So wait. You can open this link. I will pin this on the chat so that you can What is happening? Okay, you can check the chat I've given on the chat. Why I'm not able to see the link here? Just confirm. I hope you got the link, no? Collab link. Okay, I've given it again, and I'll pin this message. Okay. Oh, sorry, not this. Okay, so you can open that link, and whenever I do any new code, write any new code, just reload that link and you will able to see my code. Okay, so in case if you are doing the practical side by side, you can copy paste my code. Okay, fine. So then now coming to the next part, these are all about the primitive data type. Now let's discuss about, first of all, let's discuss something about string. So let's say I'm defining a string. Let's say this one only. Let's say I'll write here a is equal to, okay, or let's say I'll write here my str is equal to this. Now I am defining a simple string here, and if I print this my str, okay, I got the output here. Now I want to apply slicing here or indexing here. Now what is the meaning of slicing? Slicing means you are getting some part of the data. Let's say I want only this. I want from here to here. That is called slicing. So for the slicing, we have to use the index value. Now just remember one thing, index always starts from 0, okay, and it ends at length minus 1. Length minus 1. So if I want to check the length of this, I can write here length of my str. So it will be 43. So the index will be from 0 to 42. Just remember this. That means if I write here my str of 2, it will give me the letter at the second position. So this will be your 0, this will be your 1, and this space is your 2, and that is why we are getting only space. If I write here 3, I'll get a. See, I got a here. So this is the index value that we are passing here, okay? And if I want to give a range, I can pass here, let's say I want from 10 to 20. Now this will consider it from 10 to 19. Just remember this. Whatever you are going to pass here, it will always take one less than that value. So if I do this now, we got from 10 to 19. So this will be your index 10 and this will be your index 19 if you count. So that 20 will not be included. Yeah, it will be excluded. Okay. So that is how we do the slicing. Okay. And one more thing in the slicing, if I write here, let's say 10 to 30 and colon, if I write here 3. Now here it is going to take the step of 3. That means 10, then 13, then 16, then 19, then 22, like this. That's how we do the slicing. Okay, fine. Now coming to the core data type. Now what are the different types of core data type that we have in Python? Anyone? Reverse slicing. For reverse slicing, simply you can give -1. If you give here -1 and just change the reverse this value, then you will be getting that reverse slicing. So you have to reverse that. If you want to reverse that, simply give -1. Yeah, what are different types of core data type here? They are not discussing in more details. I'm just going the overview. And I told you again that just go through the Python basics, Python videos, you will get everything there. I'm discussing more details about everything in that Python playlist. Okay. So we have, yes, list, we have tuple, we have dictionary, then we have sets, and then we have arrays. So these are the different core data type. Core data type is something where you can store multiple values which can hold a group of data. That is called a core data type, where you can store a group of data. Now, the first four can store any type of data, any type of, like I can store a mix of integer, a float, or something like that. That means they are the heterogeneous data type. They can store a mix of data, but this is a homogeneous data type. It can store only one type of data. I can store only integers. I can store only float. No, list and array are not same in Python. Tomorrow, when I'll be discussing about the NumPy, in that one, I will tell you the difference between the list and array. I'll tell you the difference. Okay. I'll explain the difference in the next session when I'll be discussing about the NumPy. Okay. Fine. So now, how do you create a list? Now, what is this list? As I told you just now, that it is a group of homogeneous data, group of, sorry, why I'm writing homogeneous, heterogeneous data. Okay, group of heterogeneous data. Then which is mutable. Now, do you know what is the meaning of mutable? Yeah, square brackets we use this for. Yes, correct. Can be changed, yes, which can be modified. Once you have created, you can add data, you can replace data, you can delete data. Whatever change you want to perform, you can perform in a list. That is what we call this list. List can be changed. It can be mutable. Okay. So we make this by square bracket. By using square brackets, we make a list. So just remember this, that if there is a square bracket, I can say that it can be a list. Okay. So let's make a list and let's understand. Let's say I'll make my lst. I'll take a square bracket. I'll take all the types. Let's say I'll take integer. I'll take a float. I will take a string. I will take a boolean. I'll take a complex number. I've taken all the type of data. And now, in fact, you can take a list also here. Inside a list, I can take one more list also. Let's say like this. Now, this is my another list. I can take a list also inside a list. This is called a nested list. Okay. So now if I print this, print my lst. See, this is a list now. You can check the type of this. So we got the list here. So this is how we create a list in Python. Okay. Now, to get the number of items, you can use the len function. It will give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 items you will be getting here. Same indexing and slicing can be used here also. So I'm not going to cover that thing. That's very simple. And that is not used much. So that is simple slicing. Like I'll just give you overview. Let's say my list of 2. So you will get Umang because the index of Umang is 2. Okay. So 0, 1, and 2. So that's how we create a list. Now coming to the tuple. Now what is tuple? It is also a group of heterogeneous data, but the difference is that it is immutable. It cannot be modified once you have created. It is immutable. Okay. And we create this using small bracket. Okay. That's your, sorry, I've given the wrong spelling, tuple. Okay. Then what about dictionary? Dictionary. data in the form of key value pairs. Key value pairs like name Umang, college something else, place something like that. Key value, first name Umang, last name Kejriwal, like this, age 30, like this. So it's stored in the data in the form of key value, where key is unique, key cannot be repeated. Okay, and how do you define this? By curly brackets. So here there will be key colon value, like this. Let's say key 1 value 1 comma key 2 value 2, and like this, so on. So that's how we define a dictionary. Okay, then set. What is set? Unordered collection of data. Now in a set there is no order. There is no order. It can mean any order, and it can also store a heterogeneous data. Yeah. Okay. Right here. Okay. And how do you define a set? By same curly brackets, but here you have to define it like this. Simple, like a list. Like a list you define, or tuple you define, same way. But here it will not be in the form of key value. It will simply like this. So same bracket we have to use for the set also. So these are the 4 different types. Array I will discuss in detail tomorrow, because array is a very important part for machine learning. So array I will be discussing in detail in the next session. So in this session, I'll just tell you how to create all these things, and that's all. If you want to learn in more details, just go through the Python playlist. Okay. Now, how do you create tuple? Let's create that. I'll simply write here my tuple. Let's say, and I'll simply change the bracket. Now tell me, can we take a list inside a tuple? Is it possible? Yeah. Yeah. Set is mutable. Yes. Set is mutable. Key value pair. No. Okay, all of you are saying no. Yes, we can take it. Why we cannot take it? In a tuple, I can take any type of data. I can take in a tuple, list in a tuple. That's not a problem. Okay. So if I run this, see, I created a tuple. See. Attendance form I'll give after some time. Don't worry about attendance. Okay, I'll give that whenever it will be required. Okay, so I hope you understood this. This is how we create a tuple. Okay. Then, how do you create a set? Same way. You can write here my set and just use here curly bracket. That's all. This will become a set. Here we cannot take a list, so remove this. In a set we cannot take a list. Okay, so that's your set. Now if I print this set, look here, we got it. Now I can see here the order is not same. It's different from here. As I told you that the order is different. It's not ordered data, and that is why in the set there is no index also. We cannot write my set of 1. That is not possible in set. Okay. And the last one, dictionary. How do you create dictionary? So let's say my dict equal to, let's say, name, comma, let's say age, like this, you can take like this. So basically I have taken here three elements. This is one element, this is another element, and this is another element. Three elements. Now if I write like this, what it is going to do, tell me. Is it going to create two names? Kanan, see, in this particular training, I cannot give more time in that. If you are interested for that practical example of that, please go through the Python playlist video. If you don't find it on my channel, tell me, I'll provide that link. I have made that videos and you can understand from there. I've explained in a very detailed way. Okay. Yes, correct. Umang will be replaced by Rohan. That's correct. And I told you that this should be a unique thing. Now tell me, if I write like this, then whether it will be replaced or not. Tell me. No, it is not going to replace now. It is going to create two names. Two names, because it is case sensitive. Okay, it is case sensitive. Remember this. Okay, so I'll remove this. This was just for your understanding. Now if I print this, my dict, and that's your dictionary. So this is how we create all these core data type. And now let me tell you one more thing. If I want to get this name, I can write here my dict of name. It will give you Umang. See, you just have to pass the key value here. It will give you the value. Key here, and it will give you the value. You cannot pass the index here. Index is not here. Okay, index is not here. Yeah, Vijay, just remind me this at the end. I'll provide the list, the link of the Python basics. Okay. And if you are in the group also I have provided that. Okay, but I'll provide that in the WhatsApp group. You can take it from there. Okay, I'll just do that after some time. Okay. Yeah, order here. The order is actually the alphabetical way, like A, N, and P. Like in a normal dictionary, when you go in a normal dictionary, all the words are in the alphabetical way, na? In the alphabetical order, right? That's why it is coming in alphabetical order. A, then N, then P. Okay. So this was all about the core data type. Now coming to the next part. So I hope till here everything is clear. So all of you, please hit the like button, make it 300 everyone. Just support this thing and subscribe to my channel if you have not done. And those who have not joined the WhatsApp group of this training, I have created 4 groups. You will get the link of the group in the description of the video. Just join that group because you will get all the updates in that group only. Okay. It doesn't depend upon the data type, Mona. It will depend on the name. If you are taking in a string, it will take basically see. When you are taking a string also, it is in the form of ASCII values. It is defined in the form of ASCII values. So with the help of that ASCII values, it is going to take the order. Okay. Yeah, video will be available on my channel here itself. You can use the same link to open the video later on. So I hope that is clear, everyone. So now let's proceed to the next thing. Now the next thing that we are going to discuss is the conditional statement in Python. Now what do you mean by conditional statement? What is the use of conditional statement? Yeah, correct. If else, correct. If I want to perform something based on some condition, I can use conditional statement. Okay. So let's say I want to take one input from the user, okay, and based on that input I want to print whether that number is a positive number or it is a negative number. Like that I want to do. Okay, so for taking the input from the user, we have an input function in Python. So that input function I'm going to use. So let's say I'll take a variable num is equal to input, enter a number. This is a message that the user will be getting. Now by default, this function takes the input as a string, So can we check the string for greater than 0 or less than 0? It's not possible, right? It's not possible. So we have to convert this number into either integer or float, whatever you want. So let's convert this into integer as for this case. So I'll just convert this into integer. Okay. Now I'll check whether this number is positive or negative. So for that I'll write here if num. Now if you have worked in some other programming language, you have to give this condition inside braces, inside the bracket. Here the bracket is not required. It is not required. Okay, you can give it without the bracket also. So you have to write here if num greater than equal to 0. Let's say if num is greater than equal to 0. After that you have to write here colon. Now right now I'm assuming that 0 is a positive number. Right now I'm assuming that 0 is a positive number, but actually we assume that it's a neither positive nor negative. So right now I'm assuming that this is the positive number. Okay, so num, if the num is greater than equal to 0, so what I want is, now see, I'm given here colon. Here colon represents that I'm going to define some statement. So here we don't use curly bracket and something. Okay, so here you have to use colon, and if you press enter, automatically if you see there is some space here, and this space is called indent, and this is very important, and most of the students do this mistake only. If I'll write here, let's say print positive number, this is not the correct way. It means that this line is outside the if condition. This is not a part of if condition. See, if I run this now, see, you'll get an error. See, I'll show you. See, you got an error here. Accepted an indented block. So you have to give one tab space here. One tab space. So if you press a tab button, there will be one tab space. Or if you press here enter, automatically it will come here like this. Okay, so use this way. Make sure that you are giving a proper space here. Okay, and don't use space bar, use tab button. Okay, then in the else part, and don't forget, don't write else like this. If I'm writing else like this, that means it is a part of if condition. So you have to take the else here so that it will be outside the if else. Okay, if part. I'll write here print negative number. So if the number will be greater than 0, it will print a positive number. If it is less than 0, it will print a negative number. So let's run this. Now let's enter some number. Let's say 67. And you can see that we got a positive number. If I enter a number, let's say -66, I got a negative number. See. So here basically we are checking only one condition and we are giving one thing in else. But let's say you want to check for multiple condition. Now for multiple condition, you use if else condition, if else else if, if else else if. Okay, so how do you use if else else if? No, if it is equal to 0, right now it is going to print positive only, because I have given the condition here greater than equal to 0. Okay, so how to use else if? We have to write here elif like this, elif. Okay, so let's say I'll remove equal to from here. If number is less than 0, then it's a negative number. And now we have left with only one condition. And what is that condition that is left? Anyone? that it's equal to 0, right? So I can write here neither negative nor positive, like this. Okay. It's not a semicolon, it's a colon. Okay. It signifies that we are going to perform, we are going to give some statement in this condition. If you know other programming language, we write like this. Like this we write, right? So this curly bracket is replaced by this colon and indent. That's the meaning of this. Okay. Yeah. So neither positive, or I can write here it's a 0. It's a 0. So if I run this now, see, if I'm giving a positive number, positive. If I'm giving a negative number, negative. If I'm giving a 0, 0, I'm getting this 0. So this is how we use conditional statement in Python. So I hope it's clear, everyone. Any doubts still here? Yes, correct. Okay, fine. Great. Okay, see what we have done here. First of all, we are taking the input from the user, converting that into integer. Then we are checking if it is greater than 0, print positive number. Else if, that means it will check if this is not true, it will come here. It will check if it is less than 0, then it's a negative number. And if these two conditions are not true, it will come here and it will print this one. That is what we are doing here. Okay. So that's a simple if else condition. Okay. Now let me tell you one more thing. Let's take an example of a, yeah, okay, Saurav, let me do that example also. Let me take a simple example of a calculator. Okay. Let's say I want to just do the addition and perform the thing. So I'll write here, let's say num1 is equal to this, num2 is equal to, let's say I'll write here enter first number. Okay. Enter second number. And I'll take this as a float, not as an integer. Okay. Float. Now, let's say the operation also I will take from the user, that what operation he want to perform, whether it is plus, minus, multiplication or something like that. Okay, he want to do that, so he will pass that also. Now I'll check according to this operation value, I want to perform something. So I'll write here if op, now op will be a string, so I'll write here equal to plus, then print what, num1 plus num2. Okay. Now like this we can give multiple condition. I can write here else if it is minus, write here minus. If it is multiplication, write here multiplication. And finally the last condition, if it is division, I'll say division. And if some other thing is provided, I can write here invalid operation. Invalid operation. Okay. So now if I run this, okay, see 34, 45, let's say I enter here plus, and I got the addition. See, let me take one more example. If I write here 45, if I write here 9, and let's write here divide, I got 5.0. So it's working. So this is how we use conditional statement. Okay. So I hope everything is clear. Yeah, Danny, just wait for some time. At the end, I'll show that to you. Okay. the Python basics. Is it necessary to give condition again in else if? Lavanya, you are talking about where? See, if you are checking for multiple condition, obviously you have to check. But if only one thing is left, you can directly write here else. Okay. Okay, fine. Now moving on to the next part, which is loops. Now in Python, we have two types of loop. One is your for loop and another one is your while loop. Now what is the need of loop? To execute the same thing again and again. Okay. So if I want to print my name 100 times, let's say, I can use loop for that. Okay, so for doing the same operation again and again for multiple times, we use loop. So first of all, I'm going to discuss about while loop. Let's say I want to print the value for 10 times. Like I want to increment the value of I from 0 to 9 or 0 to 10. I want to perform any code for 10 times. Okay. So I want to, let's say, print my name for 10 times. So how can you use that loop? So for that, I'll write here, I'll define a variable first. So let's say I equal to 0. While I less than 10, I want to read for 10 times. So now I'm giving here I less than 10. Okay. Then again, colon here, same like if else condition. Don't have to use curly braces and something like that. Okay. So again, you have to write here colon. Okay. Then press enter. Automatically the indent will be coming here. Now I can write here print. Let's say I'll write here the value of I is, let's say I'll do it like this. Okay. Comma I. That means I am printing the value of I every time. Now this loop, this print statement will be executed till this condition is true. So right now in this case, can anybody tell me how many times it is going to execute this code, this print statement? How many times? Yeah. Infinite, correct. It will be doing it for the infinite times because we are not changing the I value. We are keeping it as 0 only. So it is going to do it for infinite times. But if I write here I equal to I plus 1, then it is going to do it for 10 times only. For I equal to 0 till I equal to 9. 0 to 9. Okay. So if I run this now, you can see here we got the output. The value of I is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on till 9. Got it here. So we got the loop for 10 times. That is how we use a while loop. So I hope it's clear, everyone. Okay. Let's take one example. For what purpose we can use a loop? Let's say I'll define a list here. Let's say my lst. No, here I++ cannot be used. You cannot use I++ in Python. You can use this one, I plus equal to 1. You can use this one instead of this. But I++ cannot be used here. Okay. So let's say I'll define let's say I'll give the name of the city. Okay, now I want to print all these city name one by one. Okay, so we have to write my list of 0, my list of 1, my list of 2, my list of 3, like that. Okay, so in using loop, how can we do this? Now for that, first of all, I'll define a loop here, value here I equal to 0. Now tell me what should be the condition here. How many times we have to execute the loop so that I can print all the names? We have total 5 names here. No, Alok, right now we are not going for loop. We are going to use while loop right now. Length plus 1. It will be 5, or we can write length of my LST. Length of my LST. Length of my LST will give you 5. Okay, so I less than 5. That will be till 4. Okay, so I can write here print what? My LST of I and I plus equal to 1. Okay, now if I run this now, you can see here we got the names of all the cities printed here. So that's how we can use while loop to print all these names of the list. Okay, I hope that is clear. So this is how we use the while loop. Okay, then now let's come to the for loop. If I want to perform the same thing using for loop, how can we do this? So for that, you don't have to define variable and all. Simply we can write here for I in range. Where I'm saying that we have to use while loop only. We can use any loop. I'm going to tell you now the another loop. So for I in range, now here in the range function, you have to pass maximum 3 values. Okay. So first of all, let me pass a single value, let's say 10. If you pass a 10 here, only 10 here, it means that you want to execute the loop from 0, I equal to 0 till I equal to 9. Same thing that we have done here. So now if I print this, if I take a colon here and if I print this, that's all. See, we got that. Okay. So if you are giving a 10, it will execute the loop from 0 to 9. Okay. Now, if you take here, let's say if I take here 10 to 20, it is going to execute the loop from 10 to 19. So this will not be included. This will be excluded and this will be the starting value. So look here, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 until 19 we got here. So 10 to 19. Okay. And if I give here, let's say 10 to 30, comma 3 or comma 2, anything. Now what it is going to do in this case, instead of taking the step of 3, the step of 1, it will take the step of 3. Okay, so if I run this now, look here, 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, 28. It is taking a step of 3. So that's how we use for loop. Okay, yeah, I'll explain again. If you are giving a single value, one by one, the value of I will be from 0 to 9. If you are taking a single value inside this bracket, if you are taking 10, 20, so the initial value of I will be 10 and the last value will be 19. It will be minus 1. Okay. If you are taking 3 values here, so this will be the step size. So by default, the step size is 1 here. It is incrementing the value by 1. Here I am incrementing the value by 3. That's the meaning of this. Okay, I hope that is clear now. Now let's take the same list example which we have taken here. If I want to perform this with the help of for loop, how can we do this? Same thing for I in range. I can simply pass here length of my list, and you can write here print MILST of I. If you run this, you can look here, we got the names here. So this is one way of for loop which you can use to do this thing. Okay, this is normal for loop. Now there is one for loop which we'll name it as for each loop. For each loop. Now when to use for each loop? We generally use for each loop when we don't know the last value, or let's say when we want to execute the loop from the first value till the last value, first to last. We don't have to worry about the length and all. So the same thing, if I want to do with the help of for each, you can write here for I in my lst, like this. For instead of range, you can pass here the list here. And you cannot pass any primitive data type. You have to pass either string, or you can take any core data type where you have a concept of index value. Okay. So what it is going to do in this case, one by one, the value of I in here, the value of I was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. But in this case, one by one, the value of I will be the elements that we are having here. So if I simply print I, look here, we'll get exactly the same output. See, this kind of loop, we call it as a for each loop. This is how we use loop in Python. So am I clear to everyone? Any doubt? All of you, please click on the like button. Make it 300. Make it 300, all of everyone. And subscribe to my channel if you have not done. Okay, I hope that's clear, everyone. Okay, great. Now coming to the next thing, the last thing that we have to discuss in this Python for machine learning, and that is your function. Now, what is the need of function? Why do we create function? If let's say you have 10 lines of code, you want to use that 10 lines of code at multiple place or in a multiple file, then for that purpose, we can make a function and we can call that function anywhere we want to use. Okay. How to take including 10 in for loop? If you want to include 10, just write for I in range 11. Simply write 11, it will include 10. Yeah, code reusability, correct. So right now, in this complete code, we have used so many functions till now. Can anybody tell me the name of any function that we have used today? Any predefined function in Python that we have used today? We have used so many functions today. Yes, we have used print function, we have used len function, we have used type function. All these are the example of the function. All these are examples of the function. Yes, we have used range function, range, we have used input. All these are the example of function, everything. They are the predefined example functions that we have in Python. Okay. So like this, you can also create your own function. Okay. So let's create and let's understand how can we create this. Okay. So for that, we use a keyword that is def, def, that stands for define. Okay. So def, and here I'll give the name. So let's say I'll give the name of the function as my function. This is the name that I am providing here. You can take any name. Okay. Then a bracket here. Now in this bracket, you pass the argument. Now it can have argument, it cannot have argument. So we have a different types of function. Let me write that also here. The first function is function without argument. Second one is function with argument. Third one is function with default argument. And the last one is function with return statement. So these are the different types of function that we can use here. Now without argument means you don't have to pass anything in the bracket. That's the meaning of without argument. So first of all, we are going to create without argument thing, this one. Okay. So I'll take a colon here, and here you can write whatever you want to perform. So let's say I'll write here print this is my function. This is my function. That means whenever I will be calling this function, it is going to print this line. Now if I run this now, done. My function is now created. And if I want to call this now, simply I have to pass the name. That's all. Let me copy this. That's all. If you do it here multiple times, it will do it for multiple times. See, I got that output for 3 times. So here we made a function without argument and we got the output. That's all. This is a function without argument. Okay. Yeah, it is returning nothing. Correct. Now second one is function with argument. Now here you have to define some argument. Let's say I want to make a function for the addition, or let's say for the calculator, let's say, where I will take two numbers, A and B is my two number, and third is the operation which the user want to perform, OP, let's say. Okay, so same thing here. Again, let me copy that condition here because we have to just use the same condition. Okay, so I'll just print here, paste here. Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, so make sure that you give the proper indent here. Def is used to make a function. That's simply used to make a function. That's all. It's a keyword that is used to define or create a function. Okay. Now here, if the operation value is plus, then print A plus B, then A minus B, then A multiplied by B, A divided by B, and then final invalid operation. So this is a function that we are creating with argument. Now, how many arguments we have taken here? Anyone can tell me how many arguments this function requires in this case? 3 arguments. Good. A, B, and OP. So if I run this now, done. Now my function is created. Now if I call this, now see, if I don't pass any argument here, it will give me the error. See, I got the error. Missing 3 required positional argument A, B, and OP. So I have to pass here. So I can write here 40, let's say 10, let's say I want a multiplication. So I can do like this. I want plus, I want a division, I want minus. If I run this now, see, we got the output. See, so it's perfectly working. Now tell me one thing. If I do it like this, Will it work? Will it work in this case? No. It is a positional argument. So we have to pass in the same sequence. So in this case, it will consider this as A, this as B, and this as the OP. So if you run this, see, you got the error that you got the message that it is an invalid operation. It's an invalid operation. So be careful about this thing. So in case if you don't remember the sequence, but you remember the argument name, because if we hover the mouse here, you can see the argument name here, and you can see the sequence also here. But let's say you don't want to check that, you know the argument name, so you can write here like this also: OP is equal to this, A is equal to this, and B is equal to this. Now it will work. Now it will work. See. So if I'm passing the argument name here, so it is working now. It is giving you the output as 50. So I hope it's clear, everyone. Yeah, why not? Why not? Instead of if you're taking the input from the user, you can write here A is equal to input, and you can take the input from the user. That can also be done. Okay. In the last step, what I've done here, if you don't know the sequence, you can directly pass the argument name OP, A, and B like this. So in that case, the sequence will not make that matter. It will not give you the wrong output. Okay. So this was the function with argument. Now I'm going to discuss the function with default argument. Default argument means, let's say I'm not passing the OP value. By default, it should do the addition. So for that, what I'll do is I'll simply write here equal to plus. So in this case, this will become the default argument. That means I have given the default value of this OP as plus. That's the default value. So now if I run this, now look here. Now if I don't pass this, let's say I'm not passing this now, and see, you are getting the output here. But if you pass that, it will give you according to the operation. See, now you'll get 4. So this is a function with default argument. So I hope this is clear, everyone. Roshan, please go through my Python videos. There you'll get that lambda function. Okay. Yeah, I'll provide the collab link in the WhatsApp group. Don't worry. I'll provide everything in the WhatsApp group. Yeah, thank you for making that 300 plus likes. Is it really? Okay. So I hope everything is clear till here. Oh no, it's not 100. Okay, fine. So now coming to one more thing, you have to be careful when you are taking a default argument. The one thing you have to be careful. Let's say I'm taking like this. Okay, now if I run this, it will give you an error. Non-default argument follows default argument. So you have to make sure that whatever default argument you are taking, it should be at the last position. It should not be at the first position or second position or third position. It should be at the last position. You have to take it at the last here in the last. If all the arguments are default, then it's fine. But if you are taking the mix of default and non-default, then all the default arguments should be present at the last one, in the last one. Just remember this. Okay. Self is part of a function. It's a part of a oops concept when you create a method and class. So in my Python one, that is also covered. You can get it from there. Okay. Rahul, I think I have created 4 groups. So all the 4 groups are full. I don't think so. Okay. So now the last one, let me tell you, then I'll discuss all the other doubts. Function with return statement. Function with return statement. Thanks for playing. Thank you so much, Sonu. Return statement. Now, why do we use return statement? Why do we use return statement? If you want to store anything of the function in a variable, then in that case we use return statement. See, I'll just tell you, if I run this code, let's say I'll give the function name as ret, mycalc underscore ret. Okay. Now look here. I'm taking a variable here. Let's say var1 is equal to mycalc, and I am passing here, let's say some values. Let's say plus. Okay. Now if I run this, mycalc is not defined. Oh, sorry, C is capital. See here. Now we got the output as 90, but if I print this var1, are we getting anything stored inside var1? Tell me. Are we getting any value stored inside var1? Nothing, right? Nothing is storing, right? We got nothing here. So if you want to do this, you want to store the value returned by the function in a variable, then we can do with the help of return statement, this one. So instead of print, you just have to write here return. That's all. Just have to write here return. Everywhere, wherever you have written here print, just write here return. The value that you want to save, that's write that in the return. So if I run this now, and now let's look at the example. So let's say I will take here var2 mycalc underscore ret, and now if I run this, and now if I print var2, okay, now can you see that the value is getting stored inside this var2? So this is the need of a return function, the function with returning some value. Okay, so I hope these things are clear, everyone. Okay. So these are the different types of function that we have in Python. Okay. You have to mention the above function name. Where? I'm not getting, Kevin, what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. So this was all about the Python for our machine learning that is required. So I hope you understood everything here. Okay. Yeah, basically in this one, we are just storing this value inside this one. This is a function without return statement. That is why we are not getting anything here. That is what I've done here. Okay. So that is all for this Python for machine learning. So I hope you all enjoyed today's session and you understood all the things. In case if you have something that is not understood, you can just go through this video again after the session. This video will be available on my channel. Okay, you can just click on the same link and you will get that video again. You can go through the video again, and in case if you have again any doubts anywhere, you can ask me in the next session also. Okay, so now if you have any queries, any questions, you can ask me. Meanwhile, I'll share the attendance link to you all. You can just go and fill the attendance form, and after filling the attendance form, you can come back and you can ask your doubts. Okay, I'm waiting here. Okay, and don't worry, don't be in hurry. Just fill the attendance form in a very proper way and use the same email every day in the attendance form. Okay. And now one more thing before giving the attendance form. See, those who are asking for the Python basics video, Python videos, if you go to my channel, if you go to the playlist in my channel, you just have to go to this playlist, Python programming for zero to hero training, this one. So if you go to this playlist, you will get all my videos in this playlist. Okay. So I'll share the link of this playlist. Wait. Just comment this. I'll share this link on the chat. Okay. And in the WhatsApp group also, I will be sharing the link of the playlist. Okay. You can get it from there also. After some time, I'll share it there also. Okay. The attendance link I will be sharing in the chat here only. So please check it from the chat only, not from the group. Okay. Yeah, it was a live session, like 15 or I think 1 month back I have taken the live session. So it was that live session only. Okay. The videos are missing in the Python programming. No. All the videos are there. All the videos are there. I don't think so. Okay. Just check it again. I'll share the link of the playlist again in the group. You can take it from there. The fourth group is empty. The fourth group is not full. You can join the fourth group. Okay. Theory also we will do. We will do that theory also. Yes, definitely. Okay. Now I'm going to share the attendance link. And I'll pin this also on the chat. You can go everyone and fill the attendance form. And you can come back and you can ask your doubts. Okay, you can take the attendance form on the chat. I'll pin this message also. Okay, fine. You can go everyone and fill the attendance form. Yes, just now I sent the attendance form. Yes. Check the chat. Okay, wait, I'll provide it in the WhatsApp group also. I'll provide this one Google Collab link also in the group after some time. Okay, don't worry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, definitely you can add that in your resume. Yes, definitely. In the field, which field? Try again. Click on the attendance form again and try again. Most of the things are same, Amit. In the playlist, in my Python playlist, it is there. I have covered the oops concept also. So most of the things are same. Okay. 3 unavailable videos. No, Anand, maybe that video is not uh, correct one. That's why it is hidden. So don't worry. Whatever videos you can see, they are the correct one. Okay. They are the correct one. We have taken 10 days, so there will be 10 videos. Darshan, please click on the fourth link, fourth group link, group 4. Group 4 will be not full, I guess. Let me check. Group 4 is not full. Okay. The group link is in the description, of this video. How can you create ML project in a website? Saurabh, you will get to know in the coming days. How can you create that project? For that, you have to create a web application basically. It will be of 2 weeks, Vinayak. Monday to Friday, 10 days classes will be there. 2 weeks. So the last class will be on the next Friday, basically the next Friday. That will be, I think, on 4th of March. Till 4th of March, we will have the session. Group 4 link. Okay, wait. This is the group 4 link. Take it. Everyone, please hit the like button. Make it 300. It's still 289. Just make it 300, everyone. Click on the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not done. I have pinned the attendance link. Please check there. Thank you so much, Arun. Thank you so much. Yes, it is required to fill the attendance form. Yes. Vibhuti, just reload that page. Reload that page, you will get the complete code. Okay. And I'll provide the link in the group also, where you will get all the codes. Cannot join group 4. Let me check. Try after some time, maybe there is some problem. The link will be in the description. You can try after some time. Group 4 is not full right now. It is empty. It is around 100 participants can be joined till now. So try after some time. Okay. No, on cloud right now it's not decided. Maybe let me see. I'm not sure about this right now. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. Can't writing into tab. No, there will be no quiz. Tab means which tab you are asking, Professor Dr. Solanki? Turtle package I have not used. What is that related for, Saurabh? Link for attendance. It is pinned in the chat. Please click on that link. You will get that. Take it. Yeah, we can change it. Yes. Default means that if you are not passing it, it will take it as default one. But if you are passing, it will take that value. That's the meaning of default one. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. Yes, that is possible. Bala Subramani. Yes, that is possible. Yes. No, Anand. If you watch the today's session also, that will be also enough for the coming days. Okay. So just go through the today's session only. That will be enough. But if you want to learn more about Python, then you should go for that Python basics videos. Okay. Input of question in the form means full name. You have to pass your college name. You can pass your company name also here if you are working somewhere. You can pass your company name also if you are working somewhere. Okay. Then your mobile number, email ID, and gender. And please give the same email ID every day. Okay. No, there will be no quiz. Maybe I will take the quiz on the last day, but not in between. Darshan, please check the description. It is in the description. Okay. On the last day, I will take a quiz. So on the basis of the quiz and the attendance, both, there will be the certificate. Wait, I will share the attendance form in the group also. Those who are facing problem, you can take the link from the group. I have shared the attendance form in the group. You can check everyone. Okay. Mistake like where you are like in the form. You can correct in the next one, but make sure the email is correct, na? Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for your good reviews. Okay, so yeah, I'll provide the collab link in after some time. Don't worry, I'll provide everything. Don't worry. Okay. In the WhatsApp group, I'll provide everything. So make sure that you join the WhatsApp group. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. We'll continue this tomorrow at the same time. So please do share this channel and this video to your friends and colleagues and tell them to subscribe and go through all these videos. It will be benefit. So tell them also to take the benefit of this. Okay. So do hit the like button if you have not done, and subscribe to my channel. And one more thing, please don't join multiple groups. Please join a single group only. Okay. Don't join multiple groups. Okay. Amit, I have already given the attendance form. Take it. This one. Okay. So I hope everybody has filled the attendance form. Please confirm this on the chat, everyone. I hope everybody has filled the attendance form. It will be available till 9:30. So till 9:30, make sure that you fill the form. Okay. Everyone, please tell me. Okay then, fine. So thank you once again. So I'll see you tomorrow. Take care and do practice whatever we have done, because that will be helpful in the coming days. Okay. So take care and have a good night. See you tomorrow. Bye. Bye everyone.